Hello, beautiful beings. My name is Carmi. I am so happy to see you today, and I have a word for you, and that is there's nothing left to do but be. There's nothing left to do but be. This has offered me so much comfort and so much relief and so much ease in my life. I essentially want to talk about the idea or something I'm calling democratizing divinity. So I think in this world, we're often taught that there's always something else outside of ourselves that we need to have or achieve or learn or accumulate to somehow validate our experience of being and existing, right? We need to have a degree or a job or this or that or make an X amount of money. And I think in spirituality, that comes into play as well. So, one message I've been getting this entire year was to do a spiritual audit, and specifically kind of just reviewing the tools that I have, reviewing my practice, reviewing what I do to come into deeper communion with spirit and with my sense of faith and with my sense of intention. Yeah, and just being aware of that and not just doing something because it's what I'm supposed to do or it looks good or any other reasons that we sometimes act outside of just following our heart. And so I have some notes just to help me stay on task. Yes, so this idea of a spiritual audit was really valuable for me and something I was channeling this entire year, particularly around the idea that the body is a temple and my being, my dwelling space, anything that is immediately around me, the world that I curate for myself to live in, is my altar. And for a while, I felt kind of bad or guilty because I felt like I was struggling to maintain an altar space or struggling to do specific things that are kind of labeled to us as, an essential part of a practice that we need to do. But what I realized is that I tend to come into communion with infinite spirit in simply being aware of myself and being aware of my experience as well. So, just this idea that we have everything that we need internally at this moment in time right now. And part of that for me meant no longer practicing astrology or tarot. And when I first made this decision, I was kind of nervous to tell anyone or to speak openly about it truthfully because last year I had made the decision to start giving readings, astrological readings, and tarot readings, and I was anticipating perceived judgment or perceived or I don't know, just like I was concerned that it would be read as inauthentic for me to have decided to give readings and then had that experience and realized, oh wait, no, I don't want to give readings. I actually need to take a step back from this entirely. And for me, it makes sense because I move based off of intuition and I just listen to what I'm feeling at that point in time. But even the idea of being afraid of being perceived as inauthentic is in of itself a fallacy because when we are anticipating others' perception of us and then we're changing how we're moving and the decisions that we're making based on that perception, and particularly around inauthenticity, that's so ironic, right? Because that in of itself, changing and not following our heart, is in of itself inauthentic. So I kind of found that a little bit humorous. Um, and it kind of gave me a lot of relief, like I said. Um, and I've really been paying attention to how things feel. Like, does this feel good? Do I feel calm? Or is this making me feel more anxious? And I realized that divination was making me feel anxious because I would have a desire or I would be excited about something. And rather than just taking accountability and standing firmly in my decision that this is what I desire, this is what I want to experience, this is what I'm excited about, I found myself checking, do the stars say that I can date this person? Do the stars say that I can be successful at this thing that I want to be successful at? And I have reached a point where I am no longer externalizing my power. I am stepping fully into being and embodiment. And I think as well that was something that I had gotten into the habit of is, we can always watch another TikTok or video or buy another crystal or do something again outside of ourselves. But unless we actually apply what we're learning, then we're just accumulating tools essentially. And for me personally, at least, I realized I was using divination as a method of procrastination. And that was a really big revelation for me. Come on, poetry. That was a really big revelation for me though. And I just realized like I want like no more excuses, no more no more excuses, no more filibustering. No more delaying my joy, delaying my passion, delaying my hope, delaying my vitality, delaying my just soul star yummy goodness. When you just feel alive and you like, I want to feel that every day. I have made the firm decision to show up every single day and to be happy and to be the person and to exist and embody the state of being that I desire to exist in right now, right here. No bullshit, no like nothing else. There's nothing else for me to learn. There's literally nothing else for me to learn. I have all the tools, I know how to do it. Like, it's just a matter of showing up every day and giving myself permission. So, how are we going to show up every day? How are we going to democratize divinity? Okay, so for the spiritual audit, the first thing that you should do is ask yourself, what is working in life right now for me? What feels good? Like, emotion is such a big part of it, a big part of intuition. The body is such a big part of intuition. How do I feel right now? What am I experiencing right now? Am I driving to work every day through traffic and showing up in the office and having to put on a mask and, you know, be in spaces that don't actually align to my inner values? Maybe. So maybe I need to make a lifestyle change. Am I eating foods that don't really nourish me and don't really feel good? Like, just different things. What are you feeling right now? What are you experiencing? And I would recommend that you write this down. I would recommend, even though I said you don't need anything else outside of yourself, which is true, I would recommend that you get a journal. It can be as cheap as a literal composition book from the dollar store. Um, you know, all you need, or something that you had that you haven't used, you've been saving it for a special occasion. This is a special occasion. Like, you taking yourself seriously, you living the life that you have always dreamed of and desire to live is a special occasion. So all you need is paper and a pen. And this is going to be the journal that we're using. Not this little journal for me, but this is going to be the journal that you're dedicating to this journey of coming back into yourself, rediscovering what it sounds like, what your inner voice sounds like, because that's a big one. And so, yeah, what currently is working in your life? What needs work? What are you excited about? And then also, what are your deepest desires? So, what do you like? What would just light your soul on fire? What would life need to look like for you to wake up every single day and feel content and just satiated and satisfied and just full on the inside? I hope you can feel what I'm feeling right now. I'm like sending you vibes. I hope you can feel it, but this is part of why I'm so grateful that I've simplified my life and simplified my spiritual practice, and I have decided to wholeheartedly and faithfully practice the law. The law. Okay? The law. That's it. Okay? No checking whether the stars say I can do something, whether the cards say I can do something. no longer leaning into anxiety or procrastinating anymore. I have the tools, I have the steps. And so that's part of why I was so grateful when I realized that I no longer wanted to give astrological readings, because it made me realize that I don't want to be an expert on anything. The best way possible, the most effective way possible for me to teach what is to humble myself by showing myself as the student. So the best way for me to help others learn what it looks like to do the work is just to show myself showing up and doing the work. As uncomfortable or scary or vulnerable as that might make me, I think that that is the way, because we can't really do the work for other people. Throwing money at something is not going to fix it. Like, all there is just being an embodiment. And I can't tell you how much of a relief that is. A relief. I hope you feel the ease, okay? And what's nice about this is that I realized as well I don't want to do one-on-one work probably as much, because I think when you are emotionally invested in someone and you care about their well-being, it's easy to want to do the work for them. Or if someone is giving you money and you're having an energetic exchange for some type of spiritual service, then the implication could be that they want you to do the work for them. I don't want to do the work for anyone. A, it takes a lot of energy that I don't have. And B, people will never appreciate, like, we shouldn't be trying to fix people. We shouldn't be trying to do that. All I can do is share the tools that I have found that actually work and that have actually changed my life, and I'm still in the process of changing my life as well. Like, this past year was really challenging for me, and kind of just like a breakdown of my existence and my identity, which is actually turning out to be a beautiful thing, because that means I can curate and become and be and have and develop a deeper understanding of who I actually am and who I've believed myself to be, right? And so it's this process of coming back into touch with self-trust and self-knowing, self-actualization, and just the deep relief of coming back home into myself and remembering who I am, regardless of how many years it's been. Remembering who I am. That, like, makes me emotional to think about. That literally makes me, like, emotional to think about. But I've been going truly on, like, an inner child journey. And I think the inner child is a phrase, one of those spiritual phrases that we use and we don't really fully understand. Because at least for me, I always thought of my inner child as separate from myself. It feels like a separate person. When in reality, the inner child, as a child, you come into this world free of any judgments, just seeking and desiring pure love. And it's those experiences that we have that hurt us and wound us and leave lifelong lasting impressions on us that tell us, no, I need to guard my heart. No, it's not safe to love or be generous, or whatever wounds or beliefs that you've developed throughout your life. And coming back into yourself, democratizing divinity, coming to know who you truly are again, learning and discovering your inner child is simply wiping away all of the weight, all of the clutter, all of the fog, all of the dirt that has existed above your true self, your true identity, that loving being that came into this world just full of pure light and pure love, just like unencumbered, abundance and existence, unencumbered existence. That like feels so good to say. Yes, so I did not expect to cry, but it is a massive relief, and I just feel so. I did not expect to cry. Clearly, you can see how good that feels. Like, I've really reached a place where, as I've begun to heal from all of these really deep seated pains and hurts that I've accumulated in my life, I've come to a place where I just want to exist. I just want to be happy. I just want to love. And I just want to love other people. We all have a direct connection to Source, Creator, Universe, Infinite Spirit, Divine Love, God, whatever you want to call that ever present, all knowing being that exists within us. I have to gather myself. It's like taking a deep breath. Okay. We all have that direct connection to infinite spirit and divine love and creator. We all have a direct connection, direct line to creator. And so this will be a series and a journey that we're going on together where I share the tools and the things in my practice that have literally changed my life, literally saved my life. And I am presenting these tools and this information to those who are curious enough to seek it out. Because if you're watching this video, then clearly you have some level of intention. There's something in you that knows that there's something that you need. You know what I mean? Here, you're seeking. You would not have sought me if you hadn't already found me. I don't remember what verse that is, but I know Neville Goddard quotes it. You would not have sought me if you had not already found me. So something in you knows that you're ready to shift, you're ready to be. There's nothing left for you to do. You're ready to be here now. And so this will be a journey that we're going on together. I will be sharing how to manifest, how to change your core beliefs, how to heal big wounds and big traumas in a very easy way, and just in a way that feels good, in a way that asks us to release judgment and be open to our path, be open to the journey, be open to the experience, and no longer need to judge ourselves or others in order to keep us safe, right? So not only does releasing judgment for yourself and others feel good, but it's also very efficient, because that means when you take away all the negative emotions and all the things that it stirs up, like guilt and shame and all these other things, like you can heal it faster. You can change it faster. You can wash it away. You can pour water on it, wash it away, and resurface and be renewed faster. So, if you've ever needed a reason to be gentle with yourself, it's efficient. It's more efficient to be gentle with yourself. That is the only way. You're not going to fix things through force. The subconscious mind cannot be altered or changed through force or coercion. It must be subdued. We must charm the snake. Like, we must tame the beast that is our minds, okay? Yeah. Like, if it worked, if shaming yourself and guilting yourself and bullying yourself and beating yourself up worked, you would have already done it by now. You wouldn't be struggling. So, yeah, it's more efficient to be kind to yourself and to be kind to other people, and it feels good. So, that should be our guide as well. Does it feel good? No? Yes? That'll tell you something. Emotions and our bodies are our guides. So, thank you so much, literally, for sharing space with me today. I feel really grateful to be here, and I feel really grateful to have come back into this place, into this space, into this heart space of moving from authenticity and moving from a place of divine love, and really just being resting in that and being okay with that and making a home and a dwelling place in that. That feels so good to say. So, my task for you, your aligned action steps for our journey, like your next point, because you're gonna come back and you're gonna watch the next video on how to manifest. No bullshit. So, my next steps for you: go find a journal that you like. Either find one in your house, or go see if you find a beautiful one at a store, then that's meant to be. Like, get a journal that you like. It doesn't have to be fancy. It can be if you want it to be. Get a pen that you like. I'm pilot down, okay? um and get something that you can an intentional mental space for yourself, okay? Because we're about to do some deep work, some deep shifting work, some deep being. That's what we're about to do. We're about to do some deep being. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for coming to my Carmi talk. I don't know. Anyway, thank you for being here. Thank you so much for watching this video. I am so grateful that you're here. Yes, so go ahead, like, subscribe, leave me feedback, give me comments. Do you have questions? Let's have a little chat. Say hi, tell me something that you ate that was really good. Like, let's have fun. Let's keep it cute. So, anyway, thank you for being here. This was cute. This was fun, and I appreciate you watching. Goodbye.